Hey everybody, so I came across this news story here on Bitcoin News that the Treasury Secretary, quote, says, "We are looking very carefully and will continue to look at Bitcoin." So let's see what he's talking about here. Let's read through it. It's a pretty short article. Trump administration Treasury Secretary Steve Turner Mnuchin, in a recent interview, largely about U.S. tax code and proposed cuts, gave his first public comments regarding Bitcoin. Treasury is looking at Bitcoin very carefully. Okay. The market cap has now surpassed $100 billion. People are calling it a currency. They're using it as a currency. Began Yahoo Finance Markets correspondent Nicole Sinclair on the 9th of November 2017. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin, and does the government plan to regulate it, she asked. Steve Mnuchin, the 77th man to assume Alexander Hamilton's original position, answered, "Well, it is something we are looking at very carefully," the former Goldman Sachs banker said, "and we'll continue to look at it." Let me scroll down here. So the first issue, he says, the secretary continued, is to make sure people can't use Bitcoin for illicit activities. So we want to make sure that you don't have dark web funded in Bitcoins. You know, they use this garbage to justify coming in and over-regulating things. I'm not saying that some regulation wouldn't be prudent. I don't know. I'd have to see it. But immediately they go to funding the dark web. Well, the dark web has been around for how long? How long? And how has it been funded? How about dollars? How about euros? How about diamonds? There's all kinds of stuff out there. So to throw Bitcoin under the bus or cryptocurrencies under the bus and make it look like they could be being used to fund dark web activities. Drugs are sold in cash. We've had a war on drugs. I won't get started on that, but we've had a war on drugs for how long? That hasn't stopped it. So I think it's bogus. I think they're setting this up. He says, and those are issues I am discussing with my international counterparts. So our number one issue is we want to make sure that this is not used for illicit transfer of funds, he said. No, what they want is they want a piece of the action because the dollar is being replaced by cryptocurrencies. The dollar is being replaced by the yuan and the ruble. And soon probably won't be the reserve currency because all they do is just print it out of thin air. They just put a couple more digits in the computer and say, this is how much more dollars we have to spread everywhere. It's a joke. In follow-up, he was asked about a timetable for possible government regulation of Bitcoin. He says, no, he answered flatly. There's nothing specific, but we do have working groups that are looking at this. And again, Bitcoin is something we'll be watching very carefully, the secretary reiterated. So there you have it. Bitcoin is on their radar, which I had no doubt it would be. But the funny thing is that they throw the whole scare tactic out there that we just care about everybody, and we want to make sure that it's not used for illicit uses like the dark web. Whatever. There you have it. That's my take. Common sense take from flyover country. You all have a great evening.